Hello and welcome to the World 360. I'm Varnika Dhawan and here's what we are tracking in this episode. First, we look at Israel's strike on Syria and the deadly sectarian violence in Suveda. We will also talk about the mutual defense pact signed by UK and Germany. And lastly, about the prison sentence to Istanbul's mayor and Erdoğan's top political rival, Ekrem İmamoğlu. Let's start with Syria. Fresh violence has erupted in Syria within a day after a ceasefire was announced. Fighting has resumed between the Bedouin tribes and the Druze militia. Deadly sectarian violence erupted in Syria's Suveda on Sunday. As violence escalated, both Syrian government forces and Israel got involved. On Friday, Israel attacked a convoy of Bedouin fighters who were reportedly heading towards the volatile southern region of Suveda, according to Israel's public broadcaster Can News. Syria's interior ministry has rejected reports that government forces are being deployed in the region. Remember, on Thursday, Syrian government and Druze leader Sheikh Yusuf announced a second ceasefire in Suveda, and Syrian troops were seen leaving the violence-hit southern region. But just a few hours after, at night, a Bedouin military commander said that they are going to launch a new offensive against Druze militia, despite the withdrawal of forces and the ceasefire announcement. In his statement yesterday, Netanyahu said that Syria sent an army south of Damascus into the area that should be demilitarized, and it began to massacre the Druze. We could not accept this anyway. Quote, "We acted and we will continue to act as necessary," he affirmed. On Wednesday, Israel launched airstrikes on the Syrian Defense Ministry in Damascus and near the presidential palace in southern Syria. Reports claim that the strike killed 3 people. Later on Wednesday, shortly after the Israeli strikes, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on X post that the parties involved in fighting in southern Syria had agreed on specific steps that will bring this troubling and horrifying situation to an end tonight. In response to the Israeli airstrikes, Syria's interim president Ahmed al-Shara said on Thursday that protecting the Druze citizens and their rights is their priority. In his first televised speech, Shara also said that the Syrian people are not afraid of war and are ready to fight if their dignity is threatened. After the announcement of a new ceasefire in the region, Shara ordered his army to withdraw, and a dozen of Syrian military vehicles were seen leaving the city overnight. These clashes broke out between the Druze militia and the Bedouin tribes in the city of Suveda on Sunday after a member of the Druze community was reportedly attacked and robbed by members of the Bedouin tribe. This initiated a series of attacks and kidnappings, and when Syrian government forces started arriving, the Druze militia, owing to their long mistrust of the Ahmed al-Shara government, clashed in. Suveda is the provincial capital of the predominantly Druze province. The conflict has led to the deaths of at least 300 people so far, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. So, who are the Druze? They are an ethno-religious Arab group with over 1 million population and mostly centered in Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. These clashes mark the latest deadly violence in the area. Earlier, violence was reported in the region in late April, early May this year. In southern Syria, things have become more complicated because Israel claims that it won't allow Syria's new army to move south of Damascus, and it wants Suveda and the nearby areas to make up a demilitarized zone. Anas Khattab, who is Syria's interior minister, has said that the absence of state institutions, especially military and security institutions, is a major cause of the ongoing tensions in Suveda and its countryside. Moving on to our next story. UK and Germany signed a landmark defense treaty yesterday during German Chancellor Friedrich Merz's visit to the UK. Known as the Kensington Treaty, this is the first major bilateral agreement between the UK and Germany to deepen defense cooperation and boost economic growth. Merz described the treaty as historic. The main highlight of the treaty is the clause on mutual assistance, which means that the two countries will assist one another even via military means in case of an armed attack on the other. The two countries had already signed a defense agreement in October 2024, which was the Trinity House Agreement that aimed at enhancing their cooperation and joint military exercises on NATO's eastern flank. Now remember, France and Britain last week, during Macron's UK visit, agreed on cooperation over nuclear arsenals. These developments gain significance amid the stance of the Trump led US administration of American First and also the renewed pressure on other NATO countries. Moreover, these visits, first by Macron and now by Merz, as well as their outcomes, show a deepening of alliance between European countries. Other than defense, Germany also promised to work together to tackle irregular migration. It pledged to ban activities that support unauthorized migration to Britain, with a new law expected by the end of the year. Now, the treaty also covers plans to build a new direct rail link between the UK and Germany. Stammer and Merz also discussed ways to strengthen European backing for Ukraine. Stammer said that this is the first step to get Putin to the table for an unconditional ceasefire. Next up, we will talk about Ekrem İmamoğlu, who is Istanbul's mayor and is considered the main political rival of Turkish President Erdoğan. On Wednesday, İmamoğlu got a 20-month jail sentence by the Turkish court for insulting and threatening the city's public official. This is just one case among several others against İmamoğlu. Between 2019 to 2023, over 90 investigations were launched against İmamoğlu, and a total of 50 separate criminal investigations with allegations like threats, abuse of office, or bid rigging. He was previously held in the custody over an alleged corruption case in March, along with several other opposition figures, including Murad Bakan, Mayor Soyer, and a number of senior bureaucrats. His arrest triggered Turkey's largest anti government protest in over a decade. Imamoglu has denied all the allegations and claims that he is being targeted for planning to challenge President Erdogan in the 2028 presidential elections. Despite being in prison, he was officially named the presidential candidate of the main opposition Republican People's Party in January this year. That's it for today. Thank you for watching The Print.